Hello everyone, Warangel here, and welcome back to the adventures of Sultan Jaffar and the Caliphate of Araby. Now, to start things off, sorry for not uploading this episode yesterday. I decided to go out for the day and just got back later than I planned, and given how it's getting here in the UK with local lockdowns becoming more and more frequent, it was pretty nice just to get out for the day. So, even though I wasn't able to record yesterday, I'm here today and looking forward to our next expansion. Because last episode we were able to unite the province up in the north, our starting province off the coast of Araby, by defeating the Chevaliers of Lyonesse, and yes, it took several episodes, and defeating the faction to figure out how to actually say their name. But we defeated the Chevaliers, as well as defended Zandria against a vampire pirate uprising, before ending things with Sultan Jaffar and his forces within marching range of the Wizard Caliph's palace. Now, what we're going to try and do today is finish off the last Bretonnian faction here, the Knights of the Flame, and head back up north afterwards to go after Ark the Black and his domain up here. Now, if I remember right, it's him leading the army here. Yeah. So we'll see about going after Lashik, swing across the Sorcerer Islands, and then head back down in so we can start going after some Ratmen. Because we know that Clan Eshin have got territory over here, and I want to take it. But before that, we got Bretonnians to kill. Now, also, I was given a bunch of good advice in the comments of the last episode, particularly by a long-time viewer, Alvo Wheel, and I'll be trying to implement as much of the advice as possible in today's episode, starting with us going after the army outside the palace rather than attacking the garrison directly. Now, if I remember right, yeah, it is just pretty much all men-at-arms, right, apart from the commanders and the garrison of the settlement itself. So if we take them out of the garrison and not have the walls to defend it, it should be an easier fight, especially with our more experienced troops. So, let's declare war. Thank you. Alright. And good, we are going after the right guy, and wow. I was not expecting it to be that easy. I mean, you guys can see the troops they've got. They outnumber me by pretty much, I would say, 2-1, looking at the numbers involved. Wow, I did not expect that. I just noticed as well, look at this. The elephant, by the way, looks really cool. Kudos to the mod authors. But looks like the Sultan is doing his famous T-pose at the top here. Obviously stretching his arms out to look more intimidating for Anton down here, even though he's riding an elephant, which looks like it can eat him in one bite. Assuming, of course, elephants were carnivorous. But I can't justify actually fighting this battle myself, so 1-0 to resolve. A close victory. Huh. I was expecting to be a little bit more than that, to be honest. But I'll be happy with the loot. Now, what we're going to do... That's not going to mean much. That's going to give me a lot. So yeah, let's make those men-at-arms regret following their lords into the desert and put them into slavery instead. Alright, we picked up a valet as well. Okay. Now, given that we've eliminated most of the garrison, we should be able to, yeah, fairly easily come in and take it. Wait, what? Oh, did I click the wrong bloody... I've clicked the wrong button, didn't I? Whoops. Okay, I want to resolve. There we go, much better. Right, let's go and occupy it. There we go. Right. So we've got a bunch of upgrades now to do for Sultan Jaffar. Will give us a nice bit of replenishment as well. And we'll keep an eye on what's going on with these guys too. But let's do the upgrades. Now, another piece of advice was to make sure that Sultan Jaffar is focusing mainly on magic, because not only does he have access to the Law of Death, but he also has access to his own personal one that the Arabians get. It's like Sandstorm, Mirage, and stuff like that, as well as spells from the spell Shadows, if I remember right. So, Feebling Foe, I think over here we have Doom and... Is it Doom and Darkness? No, the Pendulum, of course. Doom and Darkness is from Death. I'll remember eventually. Now, if we are going to be focusing on a lot of magic for him, something we could try out is the mod I'm trying out for this campaign called Lord Specializations. I think I mentioned it before, but that's what basically all of these skills are. It allows you to really customize your lords a bit more, like they go all the way down to here. So we have things that gives you bonuses for, ranged units. We've got things down here then for melee defense, weapon strength. You can increase unit experience with drill sergeants. We can do all sorts of marvelous stuff. Although I have to say, I don't know how I personally feel about it. I think there's just too many options. And I know the mod author was careful to try and make it so they're not as powerful as the vanilla ones. So, it encourages you to give that bit of customization without going over the top. But I don't know, with things like, say, Natural Leader here, we can get 15% casualty replenishment. Combine that with the casualty replenishment we get from Logistician, right, the one we got from our research tree in there, we can basically have our troops come back to full strength in one turn. Personally, I think it would have been nicer if we had something like the Doctrines up here, which, allows you to upgrade certain units, but it blocks everyone out, all the other ones out. But what I was thinking about is that we could have a go at the magic, because we've got a few of them here. If I got them all, yeah. So Heart of the Storm gives us extra magic in our reserves. Arcane Dynamo gives us extra start in magic, so we can easily start a battle off with up to 30 magic, the max. I have the Hurricane to reduce enemy magic. This one reduces miscast chance, cooldown, and the cost. Now I'm thinking, if we combine Storm and Magic with Arcane Efficiency, and then went quite magic powerful with him as well, with like Sandstorm and stuff, we'll be able to cast a lot of spells very often. That to me sounds like a plan. But let's give him a little bit of extra magic, I think, first. Now we could go for Sandstorm, but we've already got a character with that, so what I'm tempted to do is... That's his area of effect, isn't it? Yeah, reducing enemy leadership could be quite handy. Although we are going to be going up against Tomb Kings, so it's not going to be as useful, to be fair. What about Feebling Foe? Yeah, let's go for a point in the Feebling Foe. That might come in handy. Alright, Nadim, you are my Hassashin, so we're going to go for Specialist. Now, I know if I put him in an army, we can increase mobility by up to 15% once we fully level it up, but I want him to get some experience as a campaign agent, first of all, and he's the only one who can officially assassinate and damage walls too, so that will come useful. Now, he's located here, so if we move him to here, he should be able to spot any advancing Eshin forces, because now we're right next to them. I don't want them to go after the Caliph's Palace while we're going after the Ark and the Black. If they can keep busy with the prospectors, that would be nice. But you've done that. We need to do everybody else now. Baba, to be honest, Baba, you can move on. You can come down here and help as well, because you're not going to be doing much really sitting around. Then, what else? We can upgrade here. Now, what I was thinking, in fact, no, hang on. Before I say that, let's check out here. Oh wow, we got 3 landmark buildings here at the palace. So we got the Madrasat El Sahir. Gives us a lot of nice bonuses for our magic use. Okay. The Palace of the Great Sultan just gives a whole bunch of bonuses for Arabian Guard units. Even faction-wide, that would be useful. And then what's this one? The Mystical Palace of the Wizard Caliph. This must be a combination of different mods, because we've got the Palace of the Great Sultan, the Palace of the Wizard Caliph, and stuff like that. Well, it might be the same one, who knows. But it's got a few nice little bonuses too. Right then, in that case, I'm going to use the Wizard Caliph's Palace and the Coast of Assassins, the Land of Assassins, as a economy-focused province. But I want to make sure defenses are built first, so let's get rid of the Medina Guard. And we'll build a defensive building first, and then as we upgrade, we can get better and better, economy-based units. So we'll leave that for now. Back here, got 9,000 to spend. Kofir is pretty safe, but we could, upgrade this to Harbour. It does increase the money a bit, doesn't it? But Virus is also quite isolated. Let's focus on upgrading that. I could give the Nomad Trading Post, get our hands on Jaguar Champions in there, but we don't need it just yet. I'd rather, I think, go for the Merchant's Wolf, just so we can get more income. So we'll take that. Our Afik. Very, very close, in fact, to getting Mortality. But for the moment, let's give you Arcane Conduit. We seem to be running out of magic points in battle, so that would be useful. And we've got Blade Shield. Let's go 2 points in Wound Maker. And next level up, we'll go for Deadly Onslaughts. I think that is everything. I did want to double check. Am I still trading with the dwarves though? Oh yes, I am. Okay.
Onward.
Leadership is going down. Let's give a bit of a gift. Let's just try and keep them on board for the moment.
All right.
Is that going to work? That might help a little bit. That's fine. Let's see what happens next. Right. So the Sword of Cain has been claimed. The Savage Blow. Which one's this one again? Oh, right. Charge bonus for everybody. Okay. It's going to be more important now to get the charge in. Now, I'm a little bit concerned because we've now seen our first Ashen agent, Zapspark, here. So, and if there was any doubt about this not belonging to the Skaven, the fact that he's given off his trait of growth +5 makes me think that there may be Skaven here. You know, I could be wrong. But, well, be careful. What we would like to do now... right, we can't afford it. Damn. Alright, let's come back up to here a minute. Alright, 4,000. We'll drop that for the moment. Make sure then we can get the defenses built.
Death magic.
Right, and then what we'll do then is, if we grab you, we're going to move Jaffar all the way up towards here. There is that one army here, the Knights of the Flame, but I doubt they're going to come and attack me now. So I'm quite happy to let them stay in forced march, and then we'll go after Arkan, I think, in the following turn. So while you do that, Nadim, can we use you to spy out any armies, potentially? I might just keep him here, because we can see the Elven Ruins, and we might be able to see... Ah, hello. Hang on. If he's outside the settlement, I presume then there's an army inside. Alright, we'll keep that in mind. Now, Rafik, you have now gained immortality. Well done for you. As long as you follow your Sultan, things will be good. Right, I think that's everything we need to worry about. Oh yeah. As we're talking about getting the Land of Assassins to be our main economy-focused settlement, what I'm going to do is make sure the Land of Assassins gets the most slaves, because then they'll get more money from that. Especially as we start getting slave traders and things like that. So we'll let that happen. And oh, hello. Remind me to try and get that skull weave when we get a chance, because 20,000 gold is nothing to say no to. Right, what did I miss? Now, unfortunately, I had a text message come through, so I had to reply during that in-turn phase, but Zapspark managed to injure Nadim, and I did notice, if I skip through that, I saw an army, a full stack of Skaven heading towards the Elven Ruins. It looked like the character model for the Death Master himself, but I presume we'll find out eventually. But if we keep Yunan here, Barbar's a little bit more experienced than Nadim was, so hopefully he'll be better off against the Sorcerer. But if we come up to here now... Right, how did he look after that? That'll be a much easier fight. Let's declare war. Pretty level. Oh yeah, we'll definitely take that as an auto-resolve win. Thank you. Alright, defeated Arkan the Black. So we've managed to gain bonuses for diplomacy with Tomb Kings. Not that important, considering that we are going to be fighting them. But it means then hopefully they won't be trying to pile on against us. But the weapon strength against the vampire counts if there are still any ones like the Necroarch Brotherhood and that over in the east. That might come in handy. An extra ambush success chance. Okay. Dawnstone. Cool. Let me pop on here now. We'll swap out the Talisman of Protection for physical resistance. That gives our general ward against everything, whereas this will give us double that against physical attacks. So I'll let him have that. And then, let's have a quick look. How about Feek? Can we give... Let's go for a trade income. Not that it really matters. I noticed that the dwarves have dissolved our trade agreement. Especially annoying enough to spend 1,500 gold on them. But we'll give you that. And I suppose we can give you the talisman, can't we? Just in case. And we'll give you the Book of Ashur, because I believe Sultan Jaffar... Yeah, the Black Book of Ibn Nagazar. We'll give you that as well. And if we switch forward then to Naimi, you can gain the ring. Can we give you any more? No, that's it. Okay, that's fine. Alright, you have no points. You have no points. Okay, let's just come out of them now. Unassigned points. Jaffar. Okay. Let's give you Sandstorm as well so we can get a bit more magical attack. I'll be focusing more on this now instead. But a little magic will help.
Yes.
Right, and they'll be up to full strength. We'll be able to go after, and then I hope Vilief's Savior, and then swing up and then towards the Sorcerer Islands. But let's keep an eye on things. Ah, here comes the Death Master. So he's eliminated them, and he's now marching straight towards the palace. Alright, comes the Savior. Wow, that's actually a little bit closer than I would have thought, especially given how much we outnumber them. But, again, I'm just going to hold a resolve. Huh, didn't take that many casualties, considering. We will, though, take some more slaves and the replenishment. There we go. Combined with the end turn phase, we should be pretty much back up to full fighting strength. Ooh, the Ravager of Kassabar. The Ravager elephant is said to rival those of Norska mammoths. Ooh, I kind of want one. Alright, hang on, we'll come back to that, actually. Okay. So, at the moment, we have a bit of a choice. We could either, one, go after the last of the Lich King's forces, take Sorcerer's Island, and then head down to the Wizard Caliph's palace. Or, we can head straight down now, maybe try and scare them off. Until the Death Master comes to attack, and then we can attack him. Because Eshin Triads, those are pretty good in combat. Warp Grinders, Slavers, it could be a mixed force, but still, it's going to be a scary proposition to let them just attack the garrison as it currently stands. We haven't finished the extra defenses yet. Right. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Don't know if it's a good plan, but it's a plan. I'm going to recruit a new lord, right, to be able to lead the defense of the palace. Now, do we have anything that's going to be specific to him? No. Okay. I was hoping for him because even though he'll be able to provide bonuses for any units in their army, it's not going to include the garrison. So, let's take Muzdahir ibn Abbas in order to lead the defense. And then what I'm going to do is summon in an elephant. That should make a nice dent in any Skaven army coming to attack us. Okay, it is 1,000 upkeep, so we're going to have to be careful about that. But I will also recruit some Corsairs, just to try and help a bit. Hopefully that will hold them off a bit while we try and deal with the situation up here. So if we come and attack you guys first, just finish these off. That way then we don't have to worry about them coming to attack Lashik when we're heading off ourselves. So if we do that, can we then maybe set up an ambush here? We can just about. That way then, if we can pull it off, the Hierophant will walk right into it, and we should have enough movement range then in the following turn to go after the Sorcerer's Island. So let's deal with that. Faction is now destroyed. Okay. Yeah, toughness potion. I'm actually going to give that new agent to this guy. If we can. Yeah, let's give you a servant. Just keeps him alive a little bit longer, you know? Alright then, our Feek. We will give you now the last points in Earthen and the Curse of the Shin. That should be all your magic done. Jaffar, you get 1 point. I'm going to go for another point in Sandstorm. And Naimi will give you that and that.
trust no man.
Let's see if we can... Oh, wow. We have less than a 9% chance, apparently, of being able to achieve this. Still, 9%. I would have thought that would have been enough to give a try, you know? Yeah, not much I could do with you then, Barber. I suppose, let's try and see if we can wound him. Failure. Never mind, we got the level up at least. We can go for a point in wound. Okay, another point's upgraded, but I'm not going to upgrade Kofa because I kind of want the money. With the units currently in the... With the small army we got in the palace, that's added a ton. I mean, that elephant must have cost a fair bit. So we'll leave it, and we'll just see what the Death Master has got planned for us. He's pulled away. Now, unfortunately, Saif Baba did get injured, but it's one of those things that happens. And we managed to ambush the Hierophant. Goodbye. Now, given that we are also in our own territory, it means that we can gain the replenishment. I'm going to go ahead and get some extra cash. We will keep the lords inside the palace just for the moment. Ooh, trade. I don't know, to be honest, I think you should have been willing to pay me, because you did cancel the agreement originally. Ooh. If a Beastman army wants to go and do some damage to Skaven, I'm not going to care in the slightest. So we'll let that continue. Alright, yep, superior attacker, fantastic. Untainted. Very useful. Fear of Aramar. Nah, we won't worry about that one. Let's go and finish off now the Sorcerer's Island. Take out the last now of the Lich King's forces. There we go, another quick easy auto resolve. We will occupy this one yet again. Picked up the royal. Now, it was mentioned in the comments of the last video exactly how I'm supposed to say that. I think it's like Sipahis or something like that, but I'll look it up for the next episode. I did spot the comment, I just forgot how to say it now. Obviously too focused learning how to say Chevaliers instead. Anyway, Sorcerer's Island. I'm actually going to get rid of this, just for the moment, because we have the building here already in the capital, so that's fine. Right, and I'm going to keep the force there just long enough for us to be able to get back down here, so if we need to face the Death Master, then we've got my full stack down there instead. Could we recruit that unit instead? Nah, I'm quite happy with mine already. I mean, we could swap it out for the Desert Dogs, but they're just as good in my opinion, and much faster. We'll leave it. Okay, Jaffar. You got 2 points this time, so I'm going to finish off with Sandstorm. I know we could go for magical reserves, but we got loads of magic already. I'd rather start focusing on here. So let's go for fact. Let's go for 2 points and storm of magic right away. Okay, you, good sir. I am tempted to eventually give him an elephant now. We'll just, yeah, let's give you an elephant now. I mean, it's going to cost into our upkeep a bit, but it's an elephant. How can I say no? Right, as for here, the growth will be quite useful. I mean, we're not making a lot of money from here at the moment. No, let's keep the growth going and the public order. And then as we get more money coming in, we can switch it over then to the economy one. And now, Virus can be upgraded. Let's give you as well. Okay, that increases that. Okay. We can go for the road eventually as well, increasing more income, but for the moment, let's go for the slave traders. Unless there's any particular buildings we want from here? Not really, nah. Okay, we'll just go and get a little bit of extra income. But we will upgrade Kofa. Oh no, I'll tell you what actually, let's go for that. Right. Perfect, perfect. Could do Lashik as well, but given that we are losing a ton of money, I'm not going to worry about it yet. Alright, as for you... Let's give you a... Let's go for scouting. Let's increase our magical items if we can. Ooh, some gifted musicians, increasing movement range. That's handy. Right, so I've skipped forward a couple of turns, just enough for us to get to the other side of the palace, ready for us to march into Skaven territory. I had set up my troops in an ambush just in case, but unfortunately he doesn't seem to be anywhere around. And given that I noticed during the end turn phase just now that both Baliad has been taken by something, it looks like it's Chaos Corruption rather than an actual Skaven Corruption, judging from the big, ash thing around it. But not only that, but the Prospectors are very much reduced now in power, so I wonder if it is the Skaven or perhaps the Beastmen playing around up there. But while they're busy, let's start pushing in. I'm going to try and continue setting up ambushes along the way. We want to try and keep the Skaven on the back foot as much as possible. Oh, I've just moved... What? Hang on. 25%... If there is a mod out there that makes the game recognize that when you have a bonus to movement range, that it tells you when it affects this, because we've seen in a number of campaigns now that even though I've got 25% movement range, it's telling me I can't go into ambush stance, because according to the game I'm actually gone further than that, even though I haven't. That sucks. But we'll head down to the Elven Ruins first anyway. Swing up then towards El Calabad, push up perhaps to Baliad, and then we can swing back down, and I'm thinking to go after Sudenburg. We'll get you, I think, to actually go after the El Calabad. Just so I can have a look, see what we're dealing with. Oh my god. I was not expecting, 3 full stacks? Nearly 4? Okay. Fine, you're a level 4 settlement. Okay, right. Deathmaster's... He's lost a couple of units, I've noticed. You've got a lot of units. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Can you attack me? I think we can just be outside of range. I don't think we can get away with it. If we retreat, then we can go after them one by one. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see. Right, we won't bother upgrading it yet. Skill points, Nadim. Well, let's give you Stalker and continue a Specialist. Aye, let's see what happens. Now, it's just occurred to me that my plan might not work. Because if you remember, Skaven have that ability, which I personally find quite annoying, where if they come and attack you, they have the potential of setting up an ambush as part of their initial attack. Now, luckily for me, it looks like they're too scared to try and face me one-on-one. As you can see, they're moving their armies around, but they're not actually making the move to engage. Right. Unfortunately, Nadim has now been injured again. Baba is now back. Ignore the Empire Captain bit. Right. We'll let you just hover around here for the minute. Maybe we'll have you come and attack El Calabad. Let's push you forward for the moment. Right. Let's have a think. We know that both the Deathmaster and that other army is around here. And like I said, ideally I would like to try and take them out one by one. But do I really want to try and, deliberately walk into an ambush? I mean...
Death is not the end.
I wonder, though. This could be... If we don't trigger the ambush... This could work out massively in our favour, because we are within marching range of El Calabad. And with our troops, even with the garrison, we should be able to take out the town quite easily. And that will eliminate the main recruitment area. I mean, we don't know what's in the Elven Ruins, but it can't be as developed as El Caliphate is. Let's risk it. There we go, we managed to spot his army. Oh wow. I am still not going to bother fighting now. Oh my god. We took a ton of damage from that, from our spearmen. Okay. Sure, execute the captives. I mean, we got an opportunity now at least to finish off the Death Master. Can follow a attribute Stalk. Okay. Let's finish him off. Oh, never mind. We've got another ambush set up. Right. Okay, let's fight this battle to finish off today's episode. Right then guys, here we are at the battle where, as you can see, my army is marching through the desert in a column before being ambushed by the Skaven of Clan Eshin. Now, as soon as the game gave me control, just like the replay, I'll start slow motion in a minute, but when the game started I could see that the number of units over here on the left. In the replay you see all of them, but when I did the battle I could see it was the Skaven slaves, over here the Warp Grinders, and a couple of the other ones, like for example these slaves, I believe there was next to them, yeah, some spearmen from the clan rats. But all the other ones, like for example the gutter runners, we got triads over here, had no idea where they were. So with that in mind, I prepared for an attack on my left flank, but was hoping that they didn't deploy any troops behind us, which, as you can see in the replay, didn't happen. But while they were charging towards us, I took the opportunity to set my battle line up as much as possible. Now, given how badly injured my spearmen were, I tried to put them on the flanks, but keep them away from the combat, while my warriors made the front line. Over here on the left flank, we've got my horsemen ready then to charge towards the enemy's ranged units as quickly as we can, and I've sent Naimi over here to deal with the Warp Grinders. He's going to take a bit of damage as he charges in, because these guys, as you can see, are armor piercing and they do have a reasonably high weapon strength. But he shouldn't be able to do a fair bit of damage to them. And while that's all happening then, we're also going to anchor my right flank with Sultan Jaffar. We've got our Rafik making his way behind with his Jin vessel. So when they started coming into view, I saw that there was a lot more Skaven over here on my right flank than I anticipated. But we try our best. I've got Sandstorms, as you can see, being blasted over here now to try and split their forces up a bit. Naimi is blasted away with a fireball, which was great. It allowed my left flank then to be quite secure, giving me an opportunity to set up my artillery ready to try and help out over on the right. We also got my Death Gazelles, the mercenary unit I recruited recently, and I have to say, they look pretty cool, don't they? With the cloaks with the moons on it, and when you look closer at some of them, you can see here, like, this Gazelle's got a telescope on front to make it more accurate. That was nice little touches by the mod maker. I will say, they did a good job of that. But these guys are firing over to the left flank, securing it quite nicely now, allowing me to bring Naimi and then over towards the centre. My cavalry have charged in, unfortunately getting caught by the triads and the spearmen. Not good, because these are anti-large. So I am starting to pull them out and trying to get them to go after the enemy units here. While that's happening then, we've got the flying carpets heading over to try and split up their ranged units. I forgot though in the combat, because it's been a while since I fought Skaven. Now, if I hover over them, you can see that they are decent melee combatants. And yeah, when you've got about 3 or 4 of them and only 1 unit of flying carpets, it's not as ideal as it should have been, in my opinion. But the main combat itself is happening over here on my right flank. We do have some the Muqtahin champions charging in here, and we do have a couple of small units of spearmen, badly damaged, but still here just in case. And Sultan Jaffar is actually sort of helping to anchor the flank. If I unpause now, I did see how much damage we were going to be taking in this fight, so I did try and help out a bit. Over here, we've got my Unchained Infrit charging into the enemy's formation. Zooming in a little bit closer, you can actually see it's basically a Khan wave that's been given a fiery effect. It looks really, really cool. And I've also decided to summon in over here, slightly to the left then, the Desert Spirit to try and help out. Now, it might not have been the best units to use because the Triads, for example, are anti-large and these guys are large, but their inferior nature should help out a little bit. But while that's going on though, we have got troops marching in, trying their best to fight. The Sultan is still doing quite well, but you have to remember, despite being on an elephant, he is a mediocre combatant. You can see his stats down there. His bonuses allow him to have a 48 melee attack and 41 melee defense. The only reason he did such well in the fight was because of his elephant, given increasing his weapon strength as well as the health he had. But he's having some fun there. The rest of my forces, though, are just sort of standing around, and that's on me. For those of you who have not fought Skaven before in this game, fighting Skaven is annoying, because Skaven have an ability that when they... Oh, hang on. There comes the Serpent Staff, blasting across a lot of the enemy's units, doing a nice bit of damage into the Triads. And I'm about to try and cast the Curse of the Jinn over here, but unfortunately our Thief suffered a miscast, which sent him flying to the ground. But anyway, when you're fighting Skaven, they have a army ability, all their units do, that make it so when they run away, they get increased movement speed. So if you send your men chasing after them, you'll often find that not only will the enemy's unit outrun you, unless you're using cavalry, but when they regroup and turn around to attack you, you're going to be isolated if your men have gone after them and just been, one unit and surrounded by 3 or what have you. So I kept all my units on guard mode, apart from my cavalry in now, which means when I look over here, you can see my cavalry and Nada doing a nice bit of damage against the enemy units and chasing them down, as well as Naimi over here, who is taking a bit of damage right now because I didn't realise he wasn't chasing after anyone. But very quickly I started moving him over towards the ranged units, and I believe I sent a fireball in any moment towards him. There we go. Whereas over here now, we've got, Sultan Jaffar has decided to chase after them. And with the Warp Grinders coming in, it wasn't looking too good for him. He's still got 2,000 health, but like I said, he's not a good fighter. We are fighting creatures with anti-large capability. So his health has gone down quite quickly, and I tried pulling him away. Now, to try and help with given the fact we've got a large group right here, as you can see, I'm about to cast a Sandstorm. But a miscast blasts all the surrounding units, and the damage from that, combined with the Sandstorm making their way through their ranks, is enough for them to inflict a chain rout and for us to win the fight. So now we've got the fun task of chasing down the enemy units. And like I said, Skaven are much faster when they are running away. So I left my cavalry, do the main job, as well as some of the artillery, as you just saw. So I got the Mirage unit just going after those gutter runners, just to, during the battle, it's just to try and keep them running away. But I do have my, if I pronounce the name right, the Sipalis, going after some of their units, as well as Naimi here. Even though elephants are quite slow, he does have bowmen on the top, so it's going to be enough to be able to try and do a few extra casualties, and the Bombard is quite happy to help. And likewise over here then, we've got the Desert Dogs chasing down some units. We've got Sultan Jaffar coming up behind, keeping the spells going as much as possible. I did, I think just about 30 seconds before this, cast a Pendulum, but as the enemy's getting more and more in line, it's going to be a good opportunity for me to cast another one. And of course he has got Bowman, like I said, so he's doing some damage already to the Warp Grinders, and just like that, another Pendulum going across the line. So by the end of this, he actually killed over 500 Skaven. Very, very impressive. Now what I did think was a bit odd is, hovering over here, you can see apparently I took over 600 casualties. Whereas when we load up, I don't think it was the case. I think according to the game, we only took like 160, which was weird. But the most important thing is we defeated the Skaven ambush. And we're in a position now to head back to the campaign map with a lot of Skavens dead on the battlefield, which is always nice to see. So, see you guys on the campaign map. So, a decisive victory, even though we lost the magical carpets. Unfortunate, but one of those things. But the most important thing is we defeated yet another army. Contagion? I would like to think. Anyway, let's go for the execute captives. Gain a little bit of extra leadership this time. And another army retreats back. Now, if we skip through all of these, let's be honest here. We're not in the best of situations in regards to our troops' health. You know, a lot of our troops are at least about half health, if not a bit less, especially our spearmen here. But we do have the opportunity here that we could take El Calabad. I mean, again, I'm going to quick look at the garrison. It's nothing really to write home about. I think our troops should be able to take them out. But it's going to be the amount of casualties we take on the way. I mean, our leaders and that are pretty low health thanks to that fight. So, is it worth retreating back? Just for that, this one turn, so we can get ourselves back up to quite high, you know, fighting strength, and then come back in the following turn. But allowing the Skaven to do the exact same thing.
Impossible. Powers of oblivion.
Yeah, I was hoping we could maybe even take out the Death Master first. Eliminate him for a couple of turns, but... yeah, I'm going to take the defensive route. I'm going to go back. Bring our troops back up to fighting ability. You know, get them back up to fighting strength, and then we'll be able to continue in the next turn. Because already bringing them back here, you can just see how massively they're going to be regenerating units. Ugh, that was a bit... it wasn't a big fight, but it seemed like it was much worse, just because of how annoying it is to deal with Skaven. Right, I think going for the magic there was still a good choice, so we're going to go for Storm and Magic, continue getting that cooldown sorted. Let's see, how Fiek will continue giving you boost to Scouting. Naimi, let's give you... to be honest, the Elephant was pretty good, I thought. I mean, certainly I was quite happy with the result of that fight, but I think we need to continue working it along here. So what we're going to go next, I think... charge bonus was quite good at 90, but let's go for some extra health. There you go, that'll do. Alright, you can gain immortality as well. I didn't realize you had access to that. And then let's have a look. Zandri can be upgraded, we'll definitely do that, so we can get the walls around the settlement. See, how much do we need? Level 4. And we've got the extra growth going already, okay. Now you see, what I'm thinking temporarily is if we build the fields here, we can continue trying to upgrade the growth a bit more. Get hands on that a bit. And sure, we'll take the opportunity now to upgrade Lashik. Okay, let's hit end turn, and then we'll bring the episode to an end as well then. Right then, at this point we will leave today's episode here. So next time, we'll continue the assault against the Skaven and Clan Eshin. I'm still thinking El Calabad will be the way to go. We'll just move Baba over here just to double check. Yeah, it is unfortunate we have really little choice in terms of like having to pull back. Maybe we could have continued the fight, but with how badly injured our characters now were, all I needed was just one of them to actually take a bad hit or some, tower damage, and then we would have lost them. So, yeah, let's end things here. So, as always, at the end of the episode, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and that you do join me next time for some more Warhammer. But otherwise, everybody, take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.